All right, man. We are back for another live stream. This is the third straight day of a live stream. It's kind of different for me. I usually don't stream this much, but today we have something we've never done before. We're here with some of the Hall of Fame members. Super exciting. Got to meet these people for the first time. All of these people, well, except for Big Baby Zubas. He's been in some of the Zooms and stuff like that. But we're going to kind of introduce these guys. We're going to ask them some, Lions questions. Just hear their thoughts. You guys got any questions? Make sure you throw them in the chat. The chat's popping already, but I'm going to introduce these guys individually so you guys can see who we're talking to. The first person we have, let's just, you guys are familiar, Big Baby Zubas.
Man, what up, though? What up, though? What up, Dion? It's my dude right here. This is my dude. Man.
Yo, this dude brings the energy. If you guys have not seen our Zooms, I mean, last year we kind of cut it off a little bit, but they're coming back.
I love our Zooms. I can't wait for it.
You bring the energy, man. We love it. We love it, and we're pumped for the season, man. I'm excited for this. I know you're excited, and thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, and everybody else, Dion.
Absolutely.
I've been rolling with you since 1.0, and I'm glad of every moment of it.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Our next man we have is Raul, my man Raul in the building. What's going on?
Raul.
How's it going, Dion, man? Glad to be here. I appreciate your time. Anybody out there want to know nothing about the Lions? Dion's where it's at.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. We got everybody that said, they want to pop on. Everybody got in, so it's pretty cool. We got a full house today. Next up we have my man. I'm gonna just let me know if I'm saying her name wrong. Is it Naeem? Am I saying that wrong?
You got it.
I got it. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? I'm glad to be here.
All right. That's and then we got one more. We got my man DC. Oh, it looks like DC disconnected somehow. So we'll yeah. Let me see what it says. It says they need to connect their mic or cam before you can add them. Okay, so I might message him and see if he can get that figured out. But we'll just roll with these three until he gets back in. Look, I mean, I thought we just kind of go back a little bit. We start off with the draft. I'm just gonna kind of pass it around. Just let me know your thoughts in the draft. Maybe, your favorite pick, your least favorite pick, if you have any. Just your overall thoughts. Maybe you can throw out a grade if you have one. You don't have to, but I'll just pass around. If anybody has anything to add, just, go for it. So I'm going to start with you, Big Baby Zubas, man. The draft.
All right.
What were your thoughts on the draft? Your favorite pick, maybe your least favorite pick? How'd you feel overall?
Well, I walked into this draft thinking that we were going to trade down, but picking Penei Sewell is an absolute dream. That was one of the two people. It was him and Kyle Pitts were the only two people I saw that when it came to falling down to us or a good player would be worth not trading down for. So getting Penei Sewell was absolute great pick for the 7th pick. The rest of the draft was really good. I'm not going to lie, I kind of wanted Sean Wade for a cornerback option, but getting Melly is I forgot his name, but everybody's nicknamed him Nelly, so I'll roll with that. Yeah, Melly's going to be legit after watching his playthroughs and his tape. His tape doesn't lie, and it's really good stuff. So, and getting the 2 DTs that at first I was like, what is going on? Why are we doing that? And then I looked at the tape again, and I noticed that. Oh, hold on, I got an alert on my phone. I noticed both these guys are really good at getting to the quarterback, and I really hope that they're just as good against stopping the run. If they're as good as stopping the run as they are at getting to the quarterback, we are going to have 2 really good DTs that are going to work out very well for our organization and stopping the run, which has been a big issue for us since as far back as I can remember. And getting St. Brown, Amon-Ra, that gentleman from USC, I didn't expect him. I actually had some other options, but I like his tape. I think he's going to do good for us. And of course, there's, trading up, which at first I was like, what? I didn't know we were traded up until because I just like right after we got St. Brown, I was like, all right, I'll wait until the 5th round. And then I look up later, I'm like, what happened to our pick? I'm looking through my phone for like a half an hour looking for it. And then I found out we traded up from Derek Barnes. And after looking at his tape, I understand why, because I really needed a linebacker this draft. Really needed one. And that was like the only real need because of the situation with our linebackers over the past couple seasons. So bringing him in, really, I after seeing his tape, he gets after the quarterback too. He's basically DE converted to linebacker, which I don't mind. That's why half of our linebacker DEs converted to linebacker. Now they're just hybrids, which is really interesting. And then having Jamarl Jefferson, I like him. He's the most underrated quarterback, running back of the draft. So I would not mind us having 4 running backs. You know, him, Williams, Todd Gurley, and Jamar Jefferson. You know, 4 great running. Yeah. If Gurley signs with us, if not, well, we got a bunch of good undrafted free agents that we could work with. I like that Boyd guy from Arkansas. I like him. He's a good option too. So,
Amen.
So overall, I would say it's an A. He hit a home run with this draft. Brad Holmes, we brought him in to be a legitimate draft picker, and he did his job this season. So, and
Man,
I'll pass it on to Raul to give his reply.
Yeah, Raul, go for it, man.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I gotta say, in all my draft work that I was doing, which wasn't a whole lot, but I definitely had my first and second rounds kind of looked at.
Nothing yet. Just kind of checking with teachers.
I think I mean, I never saw Penei Sewell dropping to us. I mean, I just never fathomed that would happen. But I knew that if it did, well, I mean, you got to jump on it. If I was that person, I would jump on it. And I like it because it seems that the Lions, even if by accident and through different GMs, have actually constructed a really good offensive line. I mean, I think Taylor Decker was that from the Mayhew era? I think
first pick.
Was it?
Yeah, it was his first draft pick.
Because I thought, I don't know where Ragnow came in, but he built, you know, because he wanted that strong middle because he cared about, I mean, I believe he cared about, you know, protecting the quarterback, watching his blind side, while, you know, getting that ball to him right there. And now with Sewell, you know, we constructed a really good thing on the O-line. And then, you know, you look at Dan Campbell and his demeanor, his philosophy, you know, I mean, I don't got to mention, you know, where he goes with his conversations, but it's all about grit and meat up front. You know, you got to have the big guys that are going to pave the way or, you know, block the way, you know. So he did that with Onwuzurike, you know, come in clogging up that front on the D-line after, you know, contributing a very awesome piece to the O-line. He worked on the D-line, and he went at it again, you know, with Alan McNeil, and he's showing that he does believe that battles are won in the trenches, you know, which is overlooked, I think, because it's not a glorified area of football. You know, they're not going to be like making highlight reels and, oh, this block, you know, is going to make the scene right before the commercial. But it's such a crucial component. And the fact that he paid attention to that first shows that he's on the right track, I think. And then St. Brown, come on. Anybody that was doing wide receiver work, looking at film on any list of wide receivers, saw him pop up and saw him do some magical things here and there. Now, I know there's things that he's got to work on like everyone does, but I love that pick. Of course, I'm Latino too, so I'll probably get that St. Brown jersey and rock that stuff. You know what I mean? But Derek Barnes, I like it. We needed some depth at linebacker and someone to groom into a part there. And, you know, I also love that, you know, almost next to the what do they call it? The last pick, pick that don't matter. There's a term.
There it is.
The irrelevant pick or something like that. Yeah. Well, Jamar Jefferson was close to it, but you look at film on him and he still looks like a promising little piece of the puzzle. And, you know, I really like the directions they went with this draft. I was happy with it. I was pretty satisfied.
Can I quickly ask you two, just like, you know, if you guys have a favorite pick?
Yeah, no, it's probably definitely going to be Sewell. I mean, I was jumping like, you know, a schoolgirl over here, waving my hands in the air. And thank God that wasn't on film anywhere. But, you know, that's my funnest pick. You know, so I loved that happened. And I totally understand that draft room giddiness. You know, I mean, because I was like right there. So yeah, that's mine. What was yours? There, Zubas.
Oh, mine, same thing. Penei Sewell. I was just astonished that he was drafted. I was watching. They got this thing called Liquid Sports, and they were doing a live stream of this bar, and I'm just sitting there chanting with everybody in my house, and Sewell, 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 because I was pumped up. I was ready. And then as soon as everybody just went, yeah, and I went, yeah, and that was great. Because it was like the first time when everybody agreed we should get this guy, and we got the guy instead of like a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Or something.
You know,
which, you know,
it was electric all
the
day in there, man.
Yeah, it was.
They were chanting all night. All night.
Yeah, man, I should have went there, man. I should have went there. I regret not going there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe next year.
I had a smile on my face. It was like permagrin the whole night. You know?
Right.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I was just like, I cannot believe we got this great young talent here. I mean, he's only 20 years old.
You know what I like that we got a Polynesian because we got Big V and we got Tavai. Even though I don't know how exactly he's gonna fit, but we got like that Pacific Islander element and unity. Yep. So we got a few dudes right there that rock that, Samoan attitude of like, grit and just, destroy and pave a way, make a path, So.
Yeah. As a professional wrestling fan, I must admit that the Samoan culture has really ingrained itself as like every Samoan wrestler has been known as one tough SOB. You don't mess with the Samoan professional wrestlers. I feel like Penei Sewell is going to bring that. Yes. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name.
All right, man. I like it. So you guys both like the draft.
I like that.
Naeem, I'm going to throw it to you, man. What you thinking about the draft?
I felt mixed about the draft.
Okay.
So just historically, we have a habit of either drafting tight ends very early or linemen very early, right? Right. And most of them have not worked out. Just historically speaking, most of them have not worked out. So when I saw who we picked as our first pick, I was mixed about it. It was like we all know, or at least you might have at least heard about the kid before, even if you didn't really watch him.
Right.
So you hope that this doesn't turn out like so many before him that we taking literally first overall.
Yeah.
So just being hopeful. I mean, it looks like a great pick.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping we go the route of another weapon, running back, wide receiver. I know most people think that's a bad idea or whatever, but when you think about it, we drafted Roy Williams, for example. He's our first overall pick one year. And he actually, I feel like he worked out really well for us. We drafted Calvin Johnson, of course, first overall. Yeah. Charles Rogers is another one we drafted first overall as a wide receiver, who, due to his off-the-field issues, he didn't work out for us. But had that not been a factor, the whole off-the-field crap, he could have been a phenomenal wide receiver for us. Yeah. That would have been 3 different first overall picks, right? Mm-hmm. That the Lions took at wide receiver that worked out really well for us.
Yeah.
I mean, offensive line, I feel like that wasn't exactly one of our biggest issues last season.
Okay.
So for us to tackle that as the first pick overall, again, I was mixed about it. Great player, but looking at what we needed the most, was that really the best way we could have gone?
That's fair. That's fair, man. You're not alone on that. My dad was pushing that the whole time. He was like, he wanted a weapon so bad, and he actually wanted a running back, but there wasn't many running backs there that were scouted that high. But so no, I get it. I mean, I like the different opinion there. What was your feeling on the rest of the draft?
The rest of the draft, oh my God, when we took back-to-back defensive linemen, I was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Like every year they seem to get me on these drafts. How to do it? I mean,
it surprised me.
We had the worst defense last season, but my thing about defensive rookies is that they don't typically have that much impact in that first year. Playing defense is so much harder than playing offense in the NFL. Yeah. And this is like just pro sports in general. You look at the NBA and it's the same thing. It's so hard to play solid defense because they would hit you on anything. But playing offense, you honestly get a lot of help. Offense is just easy. These games are being more geared towards scoring higher and higher. So bringing in an offensive player, an offensive rookie, they can be more impactful straight out the bat. than a defensive rookie, which might take not just that rookie year, but it might take his first 2 seasons before he finally becomes an actual impactful player. I mean,
yeah,
this is something that kind of worried me, saying let's take not only our second, but also our third, and then that's 3 straight defensive picks before we finally take a wide receiver. Now we have Jared Goff. Goff needs weapons to throw to, and Swift needs help in the backfield. He needs another running back that we can trust. Drafting this far back for a running back, I feel like all these picks were kind of risky picks. Like literally 1 through 7, all of them were risky picks that could work out. But I mean, that's every draft. Anybody could work out.
Right.
But we needed another running back. So Swift doesn't end up getting hurt this season, being overworked. And now our young running back that could have had an amazing future for us is having a early downturn in his career because we just put too much on him when the other running back that we have in the group don't really pan out that well. Hopefully these other guys we got will work out. Hopefully we get Todd Gurley. If we get him, that would be amazing.
I was going to get to that. I want to go to DC first, and then we'll roll back to that, and I'll get your guys' thoughts on Todd Gurley. DC, I think he came in twice. So, DC, can you – hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, man, what's your thoughts on the draft?
My first choice was to trade out. I mean, at this point, given the whole 2020 year, we have players that opt out, and even if they didn't, they had shortened regular seasons, so we're really just drafting athletes. So, but best choice, we got Sewell. Sewell was pretty much my number one choice. It was between him and the linebacker out of Penn State, but I'm not unhappy.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not unhappy. I do need to say, though, that new wide receiver, we need to go back to 80s and go from Megatron to Mumra. Throw the Thundercats out there. Even though that cartoon sucked. Calling him Mumra would be pretty damn awesome after Megatron.
Oh, I think we lost one.
Uh-oh.
His computer might have died. I don't know. You have any thoughts on the other picks?
You talking DC?
No, I mean,
yeah.
I like the cornerback out of Syracuse. I was really impressed, and I do like going with McNeil. I can't believe McNeil fell that low. But when you get a guy who can play that interior, that rush, and play the line, at that point, I'm thinking McNeil may be the steal even over Levi. Even though Levi fell as a gift in our lap. Yeah, I think McNeil may be the steal that oh God, that's a terrible rhyme. But I think everyone else has been like, why did we pass on him? Why did we pass on him? I think McNeil is going to be the one that everyone says, why did we pass on him?
Yeah. Yeah. His ability to, while being in the line, still find ways to get, like when people do check down, he's really good at getting the ball, tipping it, and then getting it in. He's got multiple touchdowns off of that. Yeah. So I'm thinking if he can get a couple of touchdowns off of that, he's already made a huge impact. Whether he does it this year or next year, I don't know. We'll find out.
As long as you cause as much disruption, because you can rush the passer all you want. The key thing is also breaking up the run game. If you sit there and do like what the Packers do and say, like, well, we're just going to throw 4 end rushers at you on every play, then all they're going to do is run past the ball carrier. And at that point, if they're up 21 points, who cares? But at the same point, if you say, hey, we have a guy who can do both, and we have 2 guys who can do both, 3 guys that can do both, and they're not going to fall for play action, and you're not going to run on them. And they're still going to be able to run against you. They're not just going to be able to sit there and draw on 3 blockers.
Right. I'm starting to agree with you a little bit there on your McNeil thing. After watching him, I was kind of like, dang, I really like this guy. Naeem, I was thinking a little bit, and I kind of want to throw this back to you because I saw this one. He said he wanted Devontae Smith. We know Chase was gone. 1, would you have traded up for Chase? And 2, what would have been the weapon if you're passing on Sewell? What weapon would you have taken?
If I'm passing on Sewell, Devontae Smith. He's probably the one receiver I wouldn't have taken.
Okay.
Because, I mean, phenomenal athlete, yes, but size is kind of an issue with him. And we're talking about the NFL now. We're not talking about college anymore. That's kind of a jump up where if he can get away with that size in college, but you come up to the next level and you're the main target on top of that. Because look at our wide receiver core right now. He probably would have been the main target if we would have picked him up. That's just a dangerous scenario where I see him getting hurt. I see him honestly getting hurt. And I see people bodying up on him a lot, and it's just not working out too well. Because if he can't beat you with his speed, he's going to be in trouble. Right. But really, literally, any of the other wide receivers that were available in the first round, I probably would have went for him.
So you would have been cool with like a trade back receiver type of deal.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. If we do a trade back and pick up a receiver, and then we get an additional pick off of that as a result, amazing.
They had an offer.
I mean, maybe we should have took it. maybe this works out. Maybe this works out. You know?
Yeah, I like it. I like it, man. Because you're right. Like I think a lot of people were excited about the Sewell pick. Like that bar was going nuts. But I like to hear the other ideas too. We're not sure how these picks are going to work out. I want to go to this because you guys all kind of touched on it a little bit even before the show. Todd Gurley comes in for a visit. How you guys feeling? I mean, do you guys want Todd Gurley to be signed by the Lions? I'm going to kind of flip up the order here. I'm going to start with Raul first, if you can hear me. You want Todd Gurley as a Lion?
I got you.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right away. There's one reason that I would like Todd Gurley to be a Lion. And that's Madden 22. But other than that, he's had the knee issues. You know what I mean? He's had some things going on physically. And I think, the name, what fear it's able to strike into the opponent would probably be, the only benefit. I don't think he's the running back he once was. But I know him and Goff got that timing and connection. And if he's not used solely as, our sole number one back, which I don't think he would be if he did come to Detroit, him being in the rotation, maybe that would be his niche, just, taking 30% of the snaps or something like that. But as a reliable number one, it's exciting because you think about some of the old highlight reels, but right now I don't know if he's got it still. I don't know.
It'd be different for him to be a small role because he has always been the number one, get 200 plus carries every year. DC, can you hear me? If you can,
yep.
What are your thoughts on Todd Gurley?
I say
you want him
absolutely sign him. Absolutely. Okay. Much like Raul said, he's going to strike fear into everybody's hearts. And if you don't cover Todd Gurley or you don't account for him, he still has enough enough gas in his tank to make them pay out of their ass. If anything, he's a decoy. You really
We've seen him do it before.
Yeah, really want to sit there and be like, "Oh, this is a busted up guy with a bum leg. We're not going to cover him. We're not going to account for him." Yeah, Goff's going to be like, "Thanks, dump," or "Thanks, hand off. You're not covering him." 6-yard gain, and really,
or a little dump off play action.
Exactly. I mean, between the three of them, they're only going to need to take about 25% of the snaps, particularly if we have a fourth running back, or if we have a fourth running back. They're going to basically, between the three of them, split about the third of the snaps, or at least the third of, not the snaps, but at least the third of the touches, a third of the carries. So he's not going to need to be every down. Second and first, we only have Gurley. Third and seventh, we only have Gurley. We're going to have three people there. And the minute they don't,
and if we're working a fullback, we got Kabinda and we got Bodden, paving the way. They're going to take the brunt force of those first, those straight hits. So you would think they wouldn't get beat up as much, with a fullback in front of them.
Yep. That, and I mean, just like you said, the name alone, and if you don't account for him, I mean, it's not like he's 40. I mean, is the guy even 30 yet?
He's like 26.
He can make you pay.
Yeah,
26.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Peterson was what, 35?
Yeah, Peterson
in his 30s. I mean, Peterson was way over that.
That's
Peterson,
true.
you can be like, well, he's going to get 4 yards, 1 carry. He's going to get 2 yards, 1 yard, maybe 6 yards the next 10 carries. And that's going to be on the best day. Go ahead and let Adrian Peterson run all you want. He's going to run out of gas. You can't do that with Gurley and with a mature Smith and with Williams. And if one of these other running backs makes
I
team.
love Jamal though. Yeah, I mean, Jamal in the house is like a security blanket that we can sleep good at night.
Actually, I think Gurley will take over the role as a security blanket, which will help Smith and Williams infinitely. Because as long as Goff knows he has Gurley to either lay or block or slip off and make a catch and get 3 yards and out of bounds, 4 yards,
that helps him mentally too. You're right.
Yep, that's going to be deadly, and it's also going to help him by, as opposed to being a mentor, saying this is how you play in the NFL. You're going to be like, hey, this is what's going to happen when this runs over. Look at this. Goff is going to want to look at you. I mean, he knows the quarterback. He's going to have that connection that he can roll down to the other players. So I'm all for signing him.
Yeah, there's value there. I'm not going to argue with that. There's value there.
Big Baby, you said before, you said that Swift wants him. So you think they should make it happen?
Well, I don't know that much about Todd Gurley, but after I watched a little bit of highlights real quick beforehand, and if he is the power back option that I wanted AP to be last year, let's get him, because then that will allow us to be able to get a lot off of Swift, and then again that goes back to the AP giving Swift knowledge. Todd Gurley can give knowledge to Swift and Williams and anybody else that we might bring in, if we bring in 4. So it'll be really interesting to see that. I was on the fence, but now I think about it. Yeah, let's bring him in if he wants to come in, and then it'll really help the running back.
It's gonna be a cheap deal. Worst case, you cut him, right? You lose $1 million. That's nothing in the NFL. Naeem, you wanted a running back, so here's a chance. You think Todd Gurley should be the signing?
I think Todd Gurley gives us the 2014 scenario all over again. And 2014, y'all might remember it, y'all might not, but that's Joy Bell and Reggie Bush. Now, these are not exactly – their style of play isn't like those two, right? But it's just the fact that we had 2 very reliable running backs that it made other teams focus on our running game. You can't just focus on one aspect or the other. Like, it makes you focus on the entirety of our offense, which spreads the defense out, which gives you more options to work with. Todd Gurley, he's – at this point, you could call him a veteran, but he's not that old. He's only in his mid-20s. He's still got a lot left in the tank. And if you reduce him to that number 2 role, but still give him a good number of snaps, I don't see him complaining about that. If you give him good utilization, still give him his opportunities, I could see him playing behind Swift and it working out totally fine. Where, like you said, he has that familiarity with our quarterback because he's played with him before. He has that veteran experience that he can help use to teach Swift, a younger running back that's going to be playing with him. They can both get plenty of snaps, and it's steals the attention of the defense because they know they have to pay attention to him. And if he plays really well, if they both play at a high level, then, it opens up the game for our passing game. And even if we don't have the strongest receiving core, they can play at a higher level anyway. So getting Gurley, another running back that we know we can trust. Some people say he might not have as much left in the tank, but you put him in the right situation, and he will play at the next level. He'll look more like the old Gurley, because the old Gurley wasn't that long ago.
That's true.
That's a good point.
He's 26, man. This is an All-Pro in 2018. Average 5 yards a carry. Like, the dude's available, man. I got a question from the chat, and I want to kind of pass this around, just kind of get thoughts on this. Jeff Okudah, you could say he struggled a little bit last year. Coming back for year 2 can be a big year for cornerbacks in year 2. He was the 3rd pick in the draft last year. I'm going to throw this to Big Baby Zubas, man. Do you think Jeff Okudah bounces back next year?
I've been all in on this dude since day one. I wanted this guy so bad. I'm glad we got him. Okudah is going to be a really good cornerback. It just sucks the way our cornerback situation ended up being. He wasn't supposed to go in there and start, but he had to start, and that was unfortunate. We had to cast him into the fire, so to speak, but that helped. That hopefully will help him become ironclad in a season like this, where he gets that new coaching out of AG and a different look at things and understands how what the mistakes he made last year to be able to correct them. And who knows? Maybe he'll be able to have a good game against Aaron Jones. I forgot the guy's name. The really good Aaron Rodgers' option. Jones. Devontae Jones. I called him Aaron Jones. See, I'm so bad with names.
It's their running back.
You should hear me at a hockey game. Oh my god, I'm so bad with names. Oh my god. But that's what I feel like with that situation. So I feel like Okudah is going to have a really good bounce back year because he's the last year was just to help him get his feet wet. Because a lot of people they're right. It takes a while for these cornerbacks to work out. I wish it did work out, but like I said, we had that crazy first game, which I think the hockey gods themselves smited us for the way we treated Darius Slay. And that's why everybody's hamstring exploded in game one. It was punishment from the hockey gods themselves. Sorry, I'm not doing it.
It was tough week one, man. It was tough.
That
lost
sucked,
us the game.
Against the Bears of all the teams. The Bears.
I'll throw it to DC, man. How do you feel about Okudah next year?
Oh, I think he's going to kick ass. I mean, the best thing about Okudah and what most people don't really recognize is his ability to play the run. And yeah, he's a corner, so his primary job is to cover. But dude was up there laying hits on people. He wasn't one of these like, oh, I'm only supposed to corner. I mean, you give me who I want to hit me, Okudah or Richard Sherman, I'll take Richard Sherman any day of the week because I guarantee you Okudah hits harder than Richard Sherman. Flat out. And plus with that and with our run game, the plan has to be win or lose, the games are going to be close. With Stafford and the other ways, it was like you're playing the Lions, it's going to be a shootout. You're going to need their corners to protect. You're going to need all of that to come in. So with it being a shorter game and hopefully the other team not, needing to throw on every down, they won't have to throw on every down. That's going to free him up. That and the biggest thing about our secondary has never been bad. They've just never been healthy. I mean, really, the past at least 2-3 years, we've had awesome secondaries that everyone would love. They're just always hurt. So, I mean, if you take two corners out, you're going to have Okudah taking extra snaps, being on the number one receiver all the time. It's not good for anybody. So as long as people stay healthy and the games stay close, they aren't going to want to throw Okudah's way.
I like it. I think Big Bay made a good point there. Like we were supposed to have Trufant starting, but we don't have Trufant.
Exactly.
Raul, what do you think about Okudah next year?
Well, I think he's going to have a better season because he really has to. I mean, it's like I know it's just the second year of a potentially long, prosperous career, but we're still in those make it or break it moments. He's got to realize that he's got to do something now. Now, where I wanted to go with Okudah, first off, is when we drafted him, I think that the media and, all the powers that be were kind of feeding us that line that we just needed to go with.
Uh-oh. We need to go with what? The connection issues. Yeah, you gotta love the internet.
He's building up the answer.
Yeah. He'll see. Okay, thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Well,
I'll throw it to you, and if he comes back in, we'll let him keep it going.
All right.
What do you think?
With Okudah, it's just like what I was saying about defensive rookies. They tend to struggle that first year, whether you let them sit or you just throw them right into the fire. It almost doesn't even matter.
Right.
Most of them struggle that first year anyway, especially cornerbacks. But I think this is going to be his year because he went through all them trials and tribulations last season that he wasn't expecting. I mean, it accelerated the growth, so to speak. He went into a no-win situation last year. The defense as a whole was either injured or the players that he's playing around just weren't that good themselves. But if he hopefully, as long as he stays healthy, he'll be a great player. He'll be a great cornerback this year. I'm not worried about him at all.
Everybody's high on Okudah, man. I love it. All right, let's get to some free agency here. Now let's just talk about the biggest move. We know about the trade that happened, Stafford and Goff, the 2 first-round picks. A lot was involved in that trade. I just kind of want to get the thoughts, not really on maybe the trade as much, more on your thoughts on Jared Goff. It's really different. I know this is the first quarterback I've seen that's not Stafford. It will be. So, thoughts on Jared Goff, DC? I'll throw it to you first, man.
I'm gonna say Eric Kramer with a cannon.
Okay. Okay.
I've been a Jared Goff fan since he was in college. The dude is a baller. He's a leader, and for the record, I think McVay's a shitty head coach whose system got figured out. He couldn't adjust it, so he threw his quarterback under the bus. I mean, he's Bruce Arians. How many first-round picks did Bruce Arians go through? What, 2 at least? First-round can't-miss quarterbacks that burn out because he's an offensive-only head coach who doesn't know his damn system or is too confident in his damn system they won't trade it out. But, yeah, I am all over Goff. Goff is a warrior. I mean, if you say, hey, you're going to have 20 pass attempts, maybe a game, but we're going to win, he's going to be like, sweet, let's go. He's going to like that more than throwing 50%, 50-plus passes a game and say, may win. Given the 2 of them, I think Goff would take, hey, let me manage the game. Let me run it. I'll make the passes we need to make. Let me tell my receivers where to go instead of having my quarterback bitching in my ear like a nagging girlfriend. My head coach bitching in my ear like a nagging girlfriend the whole time. And yeah, I say give Goff the reins. We'll be fine.
There it is. Raul, you all good, man?
Yeah, sorry about that, fellas. Technical difficulties.
I had that happen all the time, man. I froze out in a couple.
Probably won't be the last one either, man.
It's all good. I'll throw it to you.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I'll throw it to you while you're here. We're talking about Jared Goff. Just your thoughts on Jared Goff now as a Lion.
Well, when it first happened, I felt like a sinking feeling in my heart. Because we followed Stafford for so long, and we thought he was going to be in it for the long haul. So there was that. But Goff, let's face it, he's been to the greatest game that you can get to. He's reliable when he's got everyone doing their job around him. I think he's got some mobility that you can appreciate. Otra vez. I swear, dude. Hope I don't lose y'all again.
We can hear you. So you good. Let's do it. Oh, maybe we can't.
Let's see here.
We can hear you still.
Yeah, just.
You can hear us?
Sorry about that.
He's doing his best.
There he is.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, there you are.
Sorry about that again, but I'll keep it short. Otra vez. Look at this.
Now the video stopped. You doing your best impression of life in Alaska, eh? Okay, I'm just messing with you.
You gotta trust Goff to get it done.
There we go. Oh, there it is, Raul. You still
look good. You look good.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Copy that.
Keep her. You good, man.
Next. Come on.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I think I got it figured out now, but I'm going to pass the torch on to somebody with some more reliable equipment.
All right. Big baby Zubas, man. What you thinking about Goff?
I mean, I got a long story about Matthew Stafford and stuff. So
yeah,
that's a whole nother subject for another day. But Goff, he's going to be a good quarterback here. The only time I really knew about him was a couple years ago when we played against him, and I thought we figured him out, but it's actually they figured out. But Goff, I feel like he has the potential to take us all the way. it seems like he has the abilities and the talents that we need as the lead quarterback to be able to get us to a deep playoff run. The one thing that we haven't been able to do as a team. Even 91, we only got that one win. So we need to have a deep playoff run. We could just win one playoff game, or we could win all three and then go to the Super Bowl and see what happens there. Goff's done that without the legacy of the Lions behind him. Once he gets that potential, and it doesn't have to be this year. It'll probably be next year or the year after. But when they get that team that Goff has around him, and he manages the game properly, and he does the intelligent throws and sees the field as everybody else does, I think he'll be able to do what no other Lions quarterback has done, and that's win a championship.
Wow.
And Kramer was really good. So hearing DC say that he's like Eric Kramer was really, really good to hear, because Eric Kramer was part of the 91 team.
Right.
If I recollect correctly.
Yeah. No, it sounds like there's a lot of confidence about Goff. You're saying he's gonna take us there. You think he'll be the guy to do it? Naeem, what do you think about Goff?
I think Goff is going to have
Probably about 45 minutes.
a strong time with the Lions, just because of the fact that he's been to the big game, right? But he didn't win it.
Right.
He's been there, but he didn't win it. And then he went through what he went through in LA, and then he came to a team that so far has shown that they are choosing to believe in him. That's a huge thing for athletes. Playing for a team where you actually feel like they want you there, where they feel like they believe in you, especially for a quarterback, that's going to have a massive effect on him and how he plays for us, regardless of who we give him as a wide receiver core. And as long as this running back group does its job to take some of the pressure off, I think he's going to have a great season for us. My biggest worry is that, okay, we make it to the playoffs, right? And then history repeats itself where the refs don't like us. Yeah. I feel like that's our biggest problem. This is the refs. It's not even our quarterback. Stafford could have got it somewhere, but the refs.
Lions versus the refs, the oldest rivalry.
There you go. That's what I'm at. Like I believe in Goff. I think he'll be great for us. He has a skill set, and he has right now his mind. I feel like his mind's in the right place, and that's because of how the staff has handled the whole situation in regards to bringing him in. So we'll see where it actually goes. Again, it's us versus the refs.
Poor guy can't wave off a 15-yard hand to the face penalty on 4th and 2 or wherever.
That's awful, man.
That's not a Goff saying. I mean, that's even out of Brady's hand, maybe. He just played that penalty off.
It does remind me of something, though. I remember Bill Belichick getting interviewed after that Super Bowl, and they were talking about, how were you able to figure out the explosive offense? And he was like, what do you credit? And I remember him saying, the thing I credit the most is the strategy of the Detroit Lions. When I hear Bill Belichick say the Detroit Lions figured out Jared Goff and the LA Rams, that's when I knew that our game against them was really good.
That was Coach Pat. He figured them out. I mean,
he did.
Yeah, Coach Pat figured them out.
Yeah, that was crazy, isn't it? Everybody gives a bunch of crap for it. He figured out them. He figured out KC. It's just, damn refs. Damn refs.
I always felt like, and I know this is crazy, I always felt like he was he was a smart defensive mind. He just was not a head coach material. That's how I always felt about him.
I think he was too young.
That's
very possible. I think that if Coach Pat gets another head coaching job, there's a great chance he's going to rip this league apart. But I mean, he's younger than me. I mean,
I think his personality is wrong.
Yeah, that's what I think. His personality.
His personality. I mean, at some point, players
got to be a leader. You got to have people that believe in you, and he was never able to do that.
Which it's hard to do with a 30-some-year-old guy. I mean, it's hard to get people to buy into that when you're 30 without being in the league that long, without all of that. So, I mean, it was a complete 90-degree vertical climb for him. Yeah. I mean, everything. I mean, you count in the injuries, the calls, all of that. It's not like he walked into a wine and roses position on a team that's already ready to win a Super Bowl. Everything is established. No, he had to start from ground zero, and he had a 90-degree climb But yeah, I'll say it now. I mean, if he gets another head coaching job, there's a very good chance in about 5+ years he could rip this league apart. It's not like he's stupid. He's young and doesn't have everything under his belt yet. I mean, that's why I think McVay has been so good. He was handed everything on a silver platter and said, "Now put your offense in." Okay,
well, I think Bill Belichick is doing,
and we're going to give you one of the best defensive ever. I mean, Jesus, you have Sue and Donald on the same line.
It's all right with mom.
No wonder you went to the
good.
goddamn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Really, it has nothing to do with your damn playbook. You had Sue and Aaron Donald on the same goddamn defensive line.
Yeah.
Go get Ramsey and you're all right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Can we add to that? Let's then dive into the Dan Campbell thoughts. Thoughts on Dan Campbell now. It feels so much different because I feel like personality wise they're complete opposites. I mean, you have this Patricia guy who seems kind of maybe he brings off the Bill Belichick vibes, you know what he knows, and then Goff is just unique in his own way, completely outgoing, doesn't care what people think. What are the thoughts on Dan Campbell? I mean, how do you guys like that hiring, Raul? I'm gonna throw it to you.
I like the fact that he has some Detroit roots, and I think it sums up the difference between Patricia and Campbell best when Dan went on to say something about, a true alpha knows when to concede if he has to, So, I mean, and that's the game we play. You can't win them all. Just win the important ones that are really important to you. If you want to take a stand in certain areas, well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But a lot of times you got to, listen to other people, and you got to, concede sometimes. And I don't think Patricia was the type to do that. He was like, I'm the head coach and I call the shots, and Slay, if you want to talk some shit and you can hit the road and all this. And that's not the way you lead a team. That's not the way you get guys on your side. And, you can't be that kind of, I think he tried to take that bullyish kind of attitude that Belichick had and tried to make it his own, and he wasn't fit for that. He wasn't. I don't think anyone on the team was vested in him and his philosophy. So I like Dan Campbell where he's got people showing up when they don't need to show up. He's got people interested in what's happening. He's got people that are ready to see where this train can go.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about that.
He got his guys in there quick because I felt like there was a completely different culture with Jim Caldwell, and that didn't mesh at all. So he had to go get his guys, and it fell apart. Naeem, I'm gonna throw it to you, man. How do you feel about Dan Campbell?
I like Dan Campbell because of the energy that he brings. It's like you can always come from a winning culture. You can come from a losing culture. That part isn't as important. Where you're coming from. It's the energy you're bringing when you come in. And he brings a lot of energy to that team. And it kind of reminds me of go back before Jim Caldwell to Jim Schwartz. And he brought a lot of energy into the Lions. And that's really when our good years started coming back to us. It came back to us during that time span. And with Dan Campbell, I feel like he's more of a person that the players can believe in than any of the our prior coaches. He's just that type of person that he has that kind of charisma about him that the players, when he talks to them, he can relate to them more. He brings a lot of energy, and athletes, they feast off of the energy of the people that are supposed to be leading them. If you have a captain on your team and that captain has a lot of energy, the people around him are going to feed off of that. When your head coach is like that, they're going to feed off of that. And that's going to affect the whole organization, which I feel like it already has. And that in itself, I mean, we're going to take some lumps along the way, but I think he's going to get the job done.
And do you guys think it's a good thing that we're bringing in these former players as coordinators? Like, kind of to your point, they're bringing the energy with them. They were players. They relate to these guys. What do you think, Big Baby Zubas?
Oh, I think it's a great idea. In fact, that's what I was going to kind of get into is that Dan, I like how Coach Campbell is. He wasn't brought in to be an offensive-minded coach or a defensive-minded coach. He was brought in to be the head coach. And then we have an offensive coordinator in Aaron Glenn, whose job is to handle the offense. And so So the offensive mindset's already built in with Aaron Glenn, and then or Aaron Glenn's got the defensive mind. I'm sorry. So
You're
Aaron
right.
Glenn comes in. He's changing the defensive mindset because his job is to handle the defense. So then you got Anthony Lynn doing the same thing with the offense as the offensive coordinator. He's more like the offensive head coach and the defensive head coach, respectively. So it's going to change the way. I think it's going to change the way we coach in the National Football League. I feel like when this team becomes successful, other teams are going to go, "How did they do this?" And I feel like the way that Coach Campbell isn't here just to be like offensive or defensive mind. Like Jim Schwartz is brought in to be the defensive minded thing, so that way we can do that. And then we're like, okay, let's go to offensive minded coach with Jim Caldwell, which worked out. Right. And then we were like, okay, well, let's go back to the defensive minded coach in Matt Patricia. Well, why don't we just stay in the middle with Coach Campbell? And that's what we're doing. We're not having a certain mindset. We're just having a mindset of let's play good football through all three phases of the game, where Dan Campbell becomes like when it comes to the conductor of an orchestra, he's just sitting there and twirling the little thing while everybody else just plays all the music. So and I feel like that's what he's going to bring to this team. He's going to be the leader of men. He's going to lead them and us, hopefully, to a lot of wins. And it's going to start September 12th. Must win.
Man, I think you hit it. You hit it. DC, what you think about Dan Campbell?
I think he's going to be great, but I think he's also going to need time. And I think it's going to be more time than a lot of fans are going to be wanting to give him, because if we start out 0-2, everyone's going to want his head. He's going to need time to build it. The real test of Dan Campbell is going to be in his third season. That's where we're going to know if he's all talk or if he knows what he's doing. We can't sit there and be like, yes, he talks a great game, and I 100% believe that he is 100% sincere, but this is about his first time minus Miami of being a head coach. He doesn't have the entire playbook scripted of like, this is how we go, this is how we win now. We can't think we're going to win now. But if we give Campbell a couple seasons, he can be phenomenal. We just need to give him time. We're not going out and hiring Bill or I don't know of another good coach that was just fired that's already been established and been like, yeah, this is how we do it. Give it to me, let me run. He has to cut his teeth as a head coach, and we have to let him cut his teeth as a head coach instead of saying, why are we worst case, imagine if we're 2-4, 3-7, how many people are going to be like, yeah, this Dan Campbell guy was full of shit? Well, but how are they playing in those 4 losses? How close were they? What caused them? Did they get blown out of the field 72-0 4 games? I mean, we need to give them time. We need to look at more than the win or loss record for at least 2 years and just let this team move. Let Dan Campbell learn and cut his teeth as being a head coach before we anoint him as the savior or the failure.
All right, so patience. Can't remember where I was going to go with this. I was reading the chat, but no, I was going to say, okay, so the offseason, a lot of turnover.
Better hear than me because I wasn't following it.
Oh my gosh, I was going to say, man, a lot of turnover this offseason. I mean, the whole roster looks really different this year. A lot of one-year deals, new coaching staff, new front office. So I kind of want to get your opinions on, the entirety a little bit of the offseason, but also kind of what maybe your thoughts of what this team will look like next season. You don't have to give me a record prediction, but if you want to, you can. I'm going to start with Raul first, if you got one.
I think being a Lions fan and all around in life, it just doesn't pay to be pessimistic. So I want to believe we can win, and I want to believe we can do it right away because, you get a set of guys on the field. You got another set of guys across from you that breathes like you and bleeds like you. I mean, it all comes down to who can do their job best in that game, you know. I mean, so I think we have a chance, you know, with the roster we have, with the coaching staff we have, with you know, I believe that they're instilling, you know, they're starting from fundamentals, and then they're going to move through, you know, the intricacies of the game with them a lot better than our previous coaching staff would have been able to. So, I want to say 8-8. Why not? Let's believe in 8-8, and you know, I have to disagree a little bit with, you know, what was said. 0-2, 2-4. I mean, what seasons don't start like that for a Lions fan? I mean, come on now.
Touche.
It's just a thing. I mean, I would almost, you know, feel weird if it didn't start like that. You know, we got to get, you know, our feet wet,
Well said.
and it's going to be a process. But you know, I believe in the team, and you know, I believe we're going to get something going this year, unlike we've ever seen.
Raul, I got to put you on the spot here. We got now that we have the 17 games, you got to pick 9-8 or you going 7-10. You got
Damn, man. I'm still stuck on our 0-16 season. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Let me welcome to the new age. And I'm gonna say 9-8.
I like it. There it is.
I'm gonna say 9-8 because I'm gonna give us the benefit of the doubt. Let's snag that extra wild card and get something out of it. Why not?
I want to throw one more thing to you because I think it adds off what you said. Hypothetically speaking, if we somehow manage to trade for a top receiver, we'll be instant playoff contenders. You're saying 9-8 now. If we got a top receiver, what do you think?
If we get a top receiver, I think definitely, because you get a big name out there moving around, and that takes so much attention off of different areas. And I think we got some masterminds behind the wheel, you know, with the new coaching staff. And I think that, you know, who do we got there? Is it Lynn or is it Glenn? I always mix them up. The offensive coordinator.
You're right.
But I think they can get something going, and
Okay. Naeem, are you as optimistic? Are you feeling a winning record? What do you think?
I'm feeling a 10-win, 7-loss season.
Woo, I was expecting that. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's do it.
I'm thinking about it like this.
Okay.
So we know, or at least the hope is that Goff is going to be protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goff is going to be protected. And I'm really hoping we go the running back route in regards to a big pickup. I hope we get Gurley instead of giving a big name receiver, and give these wide receivers that we have right now a chance to step up to the plate. Because having a run game that we know can punish another team, we know can wear down another team, that will put us in a much better position. That average at best wide receiver group can do more damage at that point. And that can also give our defense a break. You know, keep them off the field a little bit more.
Right.
And then that's the other part right there, the defense. A lot of these guys were thrown into the fire last season because of so many injuries, right? Mm-hmm. So if these guys really progressed from that, really grew from that, we're not going to have the worst defense again. I'm not expecting us to have a top-tier defense, but if we at least have, an average defense from this, between the people we drafted, any free agents we brought in, the growth of the players that we kept, if we at least have an average defense, which is really not asking for much, is it? Have an average defense, an average wide receiver group, a very good quarterback. You know, if he really takes all this belief in him and he steps back up to the plate and he plays like what he actually played in the past, we could have a much better season than what people are expecting. No one's really expecting much from us. We are that team that could be the Cinderella team. No one's really expecting us, the Lions, to do much this year. Everybody's looking at the Ravens and every other team in the league except for the Detroit Lions. So we have that I don't know, call it hidden advantage or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And again, like that energy that Dan Campbell brings, even if he doesn't make the best decisions at all times, he doesn't need to. Jared Goff staying healthy is a crucial factor, and us getting an addition to that run game, someone who can help us with, so we can consistently pound the ball on you. We can be.
Yeah, I like where Naeem is going with this. Yeah, just real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, and you can go ahead. But I wanted to say, I like where he's going with this because, yeah, you add a running back because you know you need the run game. That's a must. You know, a wide receiver, a flashy guy out there, he might do something, but that's not a for sure. You know, and having, you know, a big old flashy wide receiver that draws attention is almost the same as having no big names on there, because then they don't know where you're going to go. You know, you don't have a big name to go to. They're playing the guessing game now, because if it was Julio, watch Julio, he's going to Julio. No, but you got everybody on the field pulling their weight. You know, that keeps him guessing. That's almost the same as having a crazy number one out there drawing all the attention there, you know? So I like that. Go ahead.
I like how you spun that. That was good.
So, I mean, it just comes down to how much these players have actually grown and Goff staying healthy. And Goff will stay healthy if that offensive line does its job. And they've definitely, you know, they've done work on the offensive line that, again, I didn't think that was our biggest weakness going into the draft. I feel like our offensive line last season was actually one of our better points. So they protect the quarterback. I'm looking at a 10-win season for us.
Wow.
I can see that
That's
happening.
crazy, man. Now, look, I think I'm a little higher on Jamal than maybe some people in here, but that running back group with Jamal, Swift, Todd Gurley, and then the draft pick, man, so whoever comes out of that, it's gonna be good this season. Whoever they're gonna have to battle for some spots. I like that. Okay, now DC has a different outlook. It seems like so we we might lose some optimism with this one. DC, what do you think for this year?
I would say bare minimum 7 wins. The biggest thing I want to see, though, is margin of victory. Because given that we're just building, if we go 7-10 and don't lose a game by 14, that's a good season. For a new head coach with this new roster turnover, if we're not getting blown out, if there are no quits, if they're like, yeah, your secondary's on IR, so we're just going to sit there and chuck it the entire goddamn time. I mean, yeah. Right now, I mean, the sky's the limit, but the limit is also lightning in a bottle. What we really need to do is, and my best part of this season is that if every game is down to the wire, we are in it till 30 seconds in the fourth quarter, and they're afraid to spike it because we're going to jump the line and hit the quarterback. That would be my favorite. This year, I'm not that worried about wins and losses. I'm worried about how close the games are and how competitive we are on each snap.
There it is. I skipped Big Baby Zubaz. Yeah, go for it.
The strength of schedule, because someone just made a comment, and then you also drew up that that piece for us.
Yeah. I can put it back up if you want. Yeah.
It's just like the old saying, any given Sunday, right?
Yep.
On any given Sunday, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be the best team in the league, the worst team in the league. You could have been the Super Bowl champs last year. Any team can win, and any team can lose on any given Sunday. So I don't really pay that much attention to the strength of schedule, just because you never really know how things are going to go. You don't know who's going to get injured even. That team could have been the Super Bowl contenders out of everybody. They lose a key player, and now they're not.
Right.
You never really know. So I don't put too much credit on strength of schedule because you just really don't know. It's the NFL.
That's a good
The
point.
only thing I will say to that is that the fact that we're building a run-heavy team and we're playing the AFC North this year does not go in our favor. I mean, you're looking at an entire. We're looking at playing divisions that entire teams are built on beating runs. So yeah, we're getting screwed on that part. So strength of schedule, I don't care what their record was. Playing Cincinnati is going to be a pain in the ass because their team is built to play Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I mean, there aren't going to be many walkaways. I would rather play. Shit, I would rather play the NFC South other than Tampa, and having teams that just are going to say we're not focused on the run. That's the strength of schedule that kind of worries me. It's not the records of the opponents, it's who we are playing. I mean, if the Jets were only built to stop the run, I wouldn't want to play the Jets this year because that's what we're built on playing.
You got something, Naeem?
I feel like we're going to be more of a balanced team, even with the and this is saying even if we get Todd Gurley, get him or not get him, we're going to be more of a balanced team. Just because we have the running group to be a run-heavy team, the run is just to draw the attention away from the pass, so you can make more smart passing plays. That's what it's all about. That's why it is really crucial for our wide receiver group to step up to the plate. They don't have to be superstars, but get the job done. I really don't see us being a run-heavy team at all. I feel like we're going to be a very balanced team offensively.
I would rather have us at this point with this roster. I would rather have us run on 3rd and 3 than throw on 3rd and 3. Given who we have, unless Hawkinson is taking some guys to school and feeding their lunch and feeding it to their mother, I would rather run on 3rd and 3 based on this receiving core than pass on 3rd and 3.
I just hope we're at 3rd and 3s instead of 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 12s and
7s.
Touche, sir. Touche.
Oh my God! We get to 3rd and 3s and then we're good.
I mean,
how about that thing they did the Atlanta game last year? We're like, oh, Danny Amendola had his helmet off after the play. You guys kicked the field goal from freaking 50 yards out now.
I know.
But hey,
extra point in history.
At least Prater got the city free beer, you know. Matt Prater is a legend for getting that field goal there.
Well, it's Prater got free beer.
He'll always be alive to beat. He'll always be alive to beat. And I'm kidding.
Hey,
sure.
No, I want to add to the strength schedule. Just a couple notes. I mean, strength schedule, it is based on last year's teams. And it's, we play the same teams in the division aside from three extra teams kind of thrown in there. So, I mean, it's similar. We're going to have to face the tough AFC North, the NFC West, which are two tough divisions. I think those might be the two best in the NFL. The Packers got to go through it. The Bears got to go through it, and so do the Vikings. Big Baby Zubas, I don't think I got to you, man. What do you think about next year?
Yeah, I mean, this coming season is going to be a tough one. I agree. There's a lot of tough teams. There could be a lot of things that I don't know if we're going to get wins on, to be honest with you. I mean, of course, we got to win the division games. That's always a must, But I feel like that's part of I'm a big believer in the curse of Bobby Lane. I feel like part of breaking the curse is winning the division and getting that coveted home playoff game that we need. Because we have proven over the past decade, we ain't winning on the road the first round. We ain't going to do that. We have to have that first game be at home. That's the only way we're going to win. Home field advantage. That just seems to be part of the curse, if you will. But when it comes to the season anyways, it's going to be a tough one to get through. There's some tough opponents, especially early on, San Fran, Baltimore, of the works. And then later on in the season, we got to play Arizona again. And they actually have a really good roster this season, so I'm worried. This is that one dude, the coaches this is make or break for the coach. He has to make the playoffs, the Cliff Kingsbury guy,
right,
or else they're going to probably have a coaching change over there. But there's
AJ Watt over there to deal with now.
Yeah, now JJ Watt.
You're right. It's a big year.
And of course, like DC said, the AFC North is not going to be easy. I mean, I'm not scared about Pittsburgh. It's Cleveland the next week that we have to play. That scares me. We're probably not going to win that game, but we have a good chance of winning the Pittsburgh game because Pittsburgh isn't Pittsburgh anymore. So, I see some wins out of it. I'm not going to give like a number because I don't really. I mean, I could give a number, but I don't even know if I think it's the right number, to be honest with you, because I'll look at it now and then I'll go to the day one roster and be like, we're not going to get 10-7 or we're not going to get 5-12 or something, whatever number I came up with now. So I could probably give you a more accurate number when we get to training camp or something. But right now, I feel really positive about the way the team moves. I don't think we're making the playoffs with this team, but we're going to get some good wins. We're going to build a good culture out of this. We're going to build that winning culture the Lions need because we've had that losing culture for so long. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty damn sick of losing.
I feel it. I think we all feel it, man. I mean, I kind of went through everything. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to go talk about, but that's kind of all the notes that I had. No, this was great. I mean, I didn't expect so many good records. Honestly, I thought we'd have some low records. Usually, I see a lot of lower stuff in there, but that was DC saying 7 kind of surprised me a little bit. That caught me way off guard, but I love it. I love the optimism. I want to go around real quickly.
DC reminded me of something.
What do you remind you of?
DC reminded me. I played a game of Madden once. I bet this dude that I wouldn't. If I won, he would clean my room. But if I lost, I would clean his room.
Never.
I lost 72. Yeah, I lost 72-14. So by the time it was like 2 minutes left,
you had to clean that room twice.
Yeah, we weren't even done with the game. I already started. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna get started right now. You just keep playing, man.
Never play Madden for bong hits. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that out loud.
I'll tell you.
My gosh, dude.
Medicine.
That was on the second day.
But yeah, go ahead, D. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're all right. No, it was a funny story, man. What's up?
Yeah. But
I was gonna pass it around.
Glad
Final
we did
thoughts
this,
for everybody.
gentlemen. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Big baby Zubas, man. You got any final thoughts? Anything you want to let the people hear? Yeah.
Well,
anything,
I feel like up to this point in the off season, this is different. This is very positive. I like what's going on. This is exactly what I wanted out of what has happened so far. And as long as we continue down this road, we will become that winning football team. The winning's not going to happen now, but it's going to be soon. And there's a quote. I don't know who said this quote, but fear the wrath of a patient man. And we are going to be very patient.
Damn.
All right, I'll toss it up to the next person.
Naeem, you got it.
I mean, I don't have
Naeem. Go on ahead, Naeem.
I don't have too many more thoughts on all this. Like, I think we kind of hit all the corners on it, but again, I just think that element that no one's really expecting us to do anything because everyone's still calling us rebuild, which they're not wrong. We're definitely a rebuilding team, but I don't feel like the rebuild has to take 10 years every single time. And with the group of players that we have so far, and we're still not done making moves, of course, I feel like we could have a much stronger season when people are expecting.
There it is.
That's all I got to say.
I like it. That's a good point. Raul, what you think? Final thoughts?
I just gotta say we gotta just stay in the fight and never stop believing. And I think it could happen. So why not believe in it and make it work by straight will. And just want to say thank y'all to everybody and God bless all of y'all. Go to church. Jesus loves you.
I love it, man. DC, you got anything?
I would say the biggest thing from this year is that we need to establish that the Lions are not going to be an easy game regardless. Records are one thing. Success at this point is going to be lightning in a bottle. We need to establish that the Lions aren't going to be an easy game. We have enough one-year contracts. We have enough rookie contracts. We can pick and choose who we want to re-sign. We're going to be dangerous. If people sleep on us, if teams sleep on us, we're going to take them to school. I mean, there is no doubt about that. But in the meantime, teams need to be afraid of us, and fans need to be patient and let it build. We've waited this long. Another couple years isn't going to fucking hurt. Sorry about your monetization, dude. I owe you nothing.
You good, man.
Another couple years.
You got that Detroit drawl. There it is again.
We've waited this long already.
There it is.
Man.
Cheers.
I gotta go shout to my man, Rad. No, man, this show was awesome. You guys were great. I had a lot of fun with this. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go because I've never done something like this, but this was awesome. You guys killed it, honestly. We just kind of rolled right into this, and you guys were on top of it. So this was awesome.
Oh,
I
next
appreciate
time
all you
I
guys
have to
coming
That's
in,
pretty
man.
cool. This is fun. I really
Yep.
enjoyed this, man.
I'm
Signing
Thanks,
out.
Todd.
Thank you,
Oh, that was
Dion.
awesome.
The only
Good job
thing
with
I
them
didn't
videos,
do was
bro.
wear
Keep up the
that
good work.
can of soup shirt. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I talked over you, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
my bad.
Oh, geez.
Y'all good, man.
My
You're
bad,
good,
bro.
man.
My bad.
Admin showing some love too. It's good, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean,
There's
I'll
some
probably
super
do more of
chats.
these. I don't know if they'll be next week because I won't be home, but we'll do more of these. And if you guys ever want to get on, I'm gonna keep these out there for members. So I'll let y'all know earlier. If you guys want to hop in, just let me know and I'll send you guys the email. And we'll make these things happen.
Oh,
All
actually,
right.
Dion, these
Yeah,
will.
this is fun. I'll do it again.
So the more
I'll
you,
be glad to do it again.
the more of these will be well appreciated.
Awesome. I love it. I had a lot of fun, man. This is gonna be great during the season. Oh,
Yep.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It'll be
Oh
amazing.
man, this will be live.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Again, apologize for the demonetization.
Good, Bubba.
That's right. That's right. Send some super chats to make up.
Exactly.
Uh-huh, that's
Being
right.
YouTube, not letting us
man.
use our
25
Detroit
bucks, mama. Bring
dialect.
you.
Like I don't know what the word fuck is or something. Come on, YouTube. Come on,
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah. talking about?
YouTube messing around,
Okay,
man.
I'm sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
good?
At this point, it's already gone, so hell
Right.
with it.
Oh my god, man. Chat's showing out today, man. All right, I'm gonna end the stream here. Appreciate everybody for coming in the chat. And I'll
All right,
probably
bud.
see
Thank you, guys.
you.
All right.
Have a good